The maraverse is back in her natural habitat. So, I currently live with family. I was gonna burp, but then I didn't burp. I currently live with family, and this is a beautiful blessing. As much as things get difficult emotionally, as much as I struggle, I am constantly learning through this struggle. I am constantly learning about my biological tendencies, and I get to play with this nuance between I get to ask a lot of questions about what is biological and what is learned, nurture versus nature, essentially. For example, a lot of the reasons I love my mother is the same reasons why I struggle with her. And she, in my mind, I have an image of the mother figure. It's always right. My mind is also going off right now on, is it okay to put this on the internet? As though it is not normal, it is not human for children to have conflict with their parents, for humans to have conflict with each other. And I think that actually not talking openly about it gives it more power. The words I struggle at times with various members of my family are actually not that powerful at all in themselves. I am stating an experience, and it has nothing to do with the love that we have for each other. And they know this because they have expressed it to me before. And I know this. But if it goes unsaid, if it goes unspoken, I can't feel it. Or you can easily forget it. So this time that I am with my family is really fascinating. It's teaching me how I think that she, my mother, is always right. And I think I place a lot more emphasis on the words that she says. It's not right to say I. A part of me, not all of me, places a lot of emphasis on the words that she says. And I'm recognizing this part of me. She can be complaining about work, and if I can't hold that for a time, I can feel guilty about that. I'm trying to be careful with my words, to say actually what I mean, because despite all of this, I think that when we use words of blame, we create that blame. I think that with enough exploration, with enough reflection, we might realize there is no need for blame. In fact, I'm saying a lot of might, I'm saying a lot of may, a lot of half-confident words. And is there really any need for that? We're allowed to be assertive and allowed to change. We contain multitudes. So, this goes back to the words that I say are true, but only true for this moment, true for myself. They're worth whatever feeling they elicit in you. And if that is a thought, a question, something that pushes your understanding to an uncomfortable place that feels right, that feels like the North Node, if it feels like my words are touching on your North Node, that is my hope. If I'm touching on any of your astrological placements, that is my hope. If you don't understand that, that is okay too. But I think you can feel it regardless of my words. So the specific words matter less. They're just a playground for the actual heart, the actual feeling. But if we get caught on words, as I have, we can forget that or try to rationalize. And when it comes to the way that me seeing my mother's words as truth, it's like every energy that she puts into the world is taken by my body as nourishment. And so if she is producing something that the individual Amarah, that a part of me does not like, does not want, rather, it can feel like a threat. But that doesn't mean that she is saying anything or doing anything wrong. And I don't say this, my words here are not invalidating anybody who has suffered greatly in with parents, who is unable to live with parents, who doesn't have parents. I'm not invalidating anybody's experiences. And see, even I'm saying this, I feel like I'm defensive, like I am anticipating somebody being threatened by my words. But I speak with no intention to threaten anybody. I simply speak to explore what's in here, to connect them and connect with my past and future selves in some act of faith. I'm reading a book, Tell Me How You Eat by Amber Hussein, and I have this sense of urgency to pull the book out right now and read a passage from it as if it will validate my own voice. But I'm learning to let my inspirations, be tools, be signs, be symbols of gratitude, be symbols of parts of my own path, but not be attached to them. So Not be so attached to them that I rely on them, that I am dependent on them. I have drafted, I released a whole Substack, either a note or an article on this, and I'm catching myself trying to I'm catching myself needing to this is why after this test is over, I'm going to practice editing, because you don't need to hear this. But maybe you do. Maybe it's good that you are hearing the raw imperfections of a human voice. And it's good for me that I am showing up regardless. But the Substack post I wrote about inspirations and how to use them. I'm trying to choose the words that aren't so similar and choose different metaphors. That way I'm not saying the same things over and over again. But chances are you didn't read that Substack post. Or if you did, who's to say you don't need to hear those words again? It is so fun balancing this process of creating and editing. I have talked before about getting so caught up in the present moment that I forget everything else exists. Like, if I am creating, then I must create. It's urgent. If I'm focused on editing, I must edit. It feels urgent. And maybe I can allow this feeling, I can allow myself to be in whatever season I am in without that urgency, without that anxiety. Maybe I am right where I need to be. Maybe my presence itself is the key. This is a very Venus in Aquarius video I am making. This is a very Venus in Aquarius moment I am in, filming in my isolated basement bedroom. My Venus is in my 4th house of home with Chiron, the wounded healer. So, an isolated basement bedroom, speaking to a camera, connecting Aquarius innovation across time. For the sake of what? There's a little bit of unknown there, and there's a lot of pressure in here, air, to rationalize it. But Venus isn't always rational. It can be, if you're a Libra, I would love to hear how you balance that, the Venusian with the airy qualities of your sign. But Venus wants, Venus attracts. Venus doesn't want with urgency. Venus has faith. Venus knows that all her desires are coming to her. Aquarius wants to understand. But when it comes to creation, when it comes to family, when it comes to birthing children, creative ideas, you can't know what's going to come out. You can't know the kind of child you're gonna birth. You can't know the kind of creative project that is going to grow from the act of creation. I can't rationalize my art into existence. I can just create. And somehow this ties in with my relationship with my mother. And I write about it a lot. But I don't know how to simply say it. So when I show up here for these 15-minute videos, when I showed up today and I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about, it escapes me. So clearly it's something I am still unpacking. And maybe, yeah, it would be, I have these voices in my head, learned from other figures on the internet, learned from who knows where, that say, you have, in order for this inward work to be valuable, you must keep it private. Nobody wants to see what you don't understand yet. People want clarity. Don't you want to provide them clarity? I don't know, do I? Or do I just want to provide an interesting experience? Sincerity, I think, is more important than either of those. And if I don't have faith in anything else, I have faith I am trying to be sincere. Now let's see, what time is it here? It's 3:18, so that's all the time that we have together. But thank you for being here and listening, allowing me to share my thoughts, giving me this time and space. I would encourage you to do something like this. Do something creative and pointless. Or do something creative with a point, but disconnect from the point. Let yourself just create. No judgment. And if judgments come up, observe the judgment. There are layers to this, and it's fun. It's a game. It's a code that we get to crack and create. I love living so much. And I want you to love living too. I know deep down you do. Have a great day. I love you.